Time's up. Let's do this.
We're in for a wild night.
Welcome everyone to episode 281 of Born to be Wild, a wild Hearthstone podcast where we have fun hanging out with friends, talking about the wild formats of Hearthstone and spotlighting members of the wild community. I'm your host, Hydralisk. It is great to be back here on this wonderful Friday evening here in beautiful British Columbia. I am joined by my fellow host, ElectricSheepCity.
Meowdy.
For those of you joining us for the first time, welcome aboard. We record this podcast live every Friday evening here at twitch.tv/borntobewildhs, and the video version of this podcast is then posted to YouTube shortly thereafter. Audio versions are also distributed to all podcast apps. However you are watching, listening, or absorbing via osmosis this podcast today, thank you. Yes, you.
Content plug, Schmoopy Poopy Daddy. Before we get into the main topic of the show, I'd like to say a quick thank you to the patrons of our show. Your support means the world to us. If you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, and comment on this video on YouTube. Another simple way to support the show is to leave a review on your podcast platform of choice. If you're watching live on Twitch, we've got some awesome emotes that you can unlock by subscribing to the channel. This is, of course, free if you use Amazon Prime. Finally, if you'd like to support the show financially, you can join our Patreon for as little as $1 per month. We have some channels in the Discord that are unlocked by subscribing to the Patreon, where you can see the show coming together each week. Check it out. If you'd like to interact with us personally, please join aforementioned Discord, a free and amazing online community of friends all across the world who love talking about wild Hearthstone. Can confirm. Links to all this stuff and more, including our merch, can be found on our website, which is www.borntobewildhs.com. Hydra, how was your week?
Hey, thanks for asking, Sheep. So last week, I wasn't on the episode because Mini Hydra wanted to go camping, and it's the winter. It's not fully spring. I'm sneezing like it's spring. So like this is like a hybrid moment at this point in time. Good Misfits song, by the way, Hybrid Moments. I am sneezing like crazy, but it's been snowing. It didn't snow at all this year whatsoever. In the last week, it just decided to. Anyways, Mini Hydra wanted to go camping, and as I mentioned on the show, he's starting to drive, and I was trying to get my secondary vehicle ready for him to drive, and I was working on the brakes, and I needed to bleed them. And if there's any mechanics out there, you can I guess empathize with the fact that I broke one of the bleeder valves when I was trying to bleed the brakes. And so I like straight up broke it off, and it's stuck in there. It's stuck in one of the calipers, and I wasn't able to get the truck ready for my son to go camping. This happened like the night before, and it was very frustrating. Anyways, so I have to drive him, which also I don't want to do because it's podcast night. And so I have to drive my son. It wasn't super far. It's like an hour to an hour and a half away and the same back. And so I took him, but it's cold. Like I mentioned, it's been snowing and stuff, and they want to go camping. So whatever. It was kind of cool. The family that he was with rented a trailer that was basically it looked like a utility trailer, but it had a wood burning stove that fueled a sauna, and it was awesome.
Whoa.
And so the campsite was on the ocean. So you walk out of this sauna trailer, right? And then you can jump in the ocean and you can go back into the sauna, and you can go for like a swim, and it's right there. It's like honestly as close to the coast as you can get, because you could trip and fall in it, is how close the ocean is.
Wow.
And while that is super cool, when I went to pick up Mini Hydra after the trip, he had a cough, brought him back home, and he had a really bad cough. And it's like bronchitis sounding kind of cough. Like it's real bad right now. He's getting better the last couple days. I don't think we got to go to the doctor, but it's kind of brutal. And then Mrs. Hydra got it. She's coughing. I'm not coughing.
You're wheezing?
Yeah, so not
You sounded like the coughing Pokemon when you said coughing. So I had to riff on it. You get it.
I did it on purpose. Mostly because of Smash Brothers, the first Smash Brothers. That's why. I have not played a lot of Pokemon. But yeah, so anyways, he got sick, he got my wife sick. So far I'm not sick, so fingers crossed. I know that we could talk about your week soon, but you've been sick. Shroopy Daddy's real sick right now. So I guess I'm dodging some bullets. Though I did a thing, I don't think I talked about this on the episode before, but maybe I did. I don't think so. I bought a welding machine because
Ooh.
And so I'm a machinist. I'm a quality specialist. I've worked in manufacturing engineering. I've done all these things. And the one thing I've never actually done hands-on is weld things. I managed a weld shop, and I never even welded in my life, right?
Wow.
Which is kind of funny. So I bought one and I cleaned out. So in my backyard, I've got a shed it's more than just a shed. It's not one of those like aluminum or tin siding wall shed. It's built like a house, right? Like it's nice. Concrete floor, workbenches, stuff like that. It's like 12 feet by 10 feet or something like that. Like it's the size of like an average bedroom, maybe something like that. And so it gave me an excuse to finally clean it out and organize. And I set up my welder in there, and I cannot tell you, Sheep, how much fun I am having by just welding things. It sounds ridiculous, but I've never done it in my life other than I learned it in school a little bit, like, cause you sort of had to when you take machining, they teach you like welding basics, but I'm doing it. I'm taking all this scrap metal that we have at work and I'm just gluing stuff together, like playing with my settings. And I have a fire extinguisher, and that is for a reason. So mini story time is, so I bought this stuff. It's like this nozzle gel that helps you not get like spatter when you're welding. And after you do some welds, you can use this like a paper towel after you use your nozzle gel, and you can wipe off the spatter off the tip of your welding gun, right? And I put the piece of paper towel down on the bench, and then I continued to weld. Well, guess what? Sparks fly everywhere when you're welding. I raise my welding helmet, and the paper towel is on fire. And I'm like, holy crap. Oh, no. So like I grab it, I just throw it on the ground, and I stomp it out, right? And I'm like, that was weird. Anyways, like half an hour, I did the exact same thing, made the exact same mistake. I set a second piece of paper towel on fire. And I was like, Hydra needs a fire extinguisher because he's going to burn this shed down. So I got a big fire extinguisher, and I'm no longer gonna keep paper towel in the vicinity of
Also smart. Yeah.
the welding. Once I use one, I'm gonna remove it from, like at least 1 or 2 square meters like area, because you cannot just throw it back on the bench. A sparkle hit it. It was so funny because you don't notice it when you have your welding mask on. You lift it up and it's just this tiny like fire on the bench. Oh, that's not good. Mrs. Hydra doesn't know that happened, so hopefully she doesn't listen to the episode. Anyways, I'm having an absolute blast at learning how to weld and how to not burn things down. So that's cool. I was listening. I had mentioned to you guys that I was listening to the book The Passage by Justin Cronin before. And so that, oh my gosh, I started listening to like about a month ago, but it was through my local library app, and they give you a certain amount of time, like a couple weeks to listen to a book, but it's like a 40-hour book. I didn't have enough time. I didn't finish. So in the meantime, I typed in thriller, horror, and this book called The Asylum came up, and I was like, that looks cool. And the cover looks like scary. It's like this girl walking through a door. It's black and white, and she's got like hair in front of her face. I'm like, this seems neat. Like, sounds scary. And I got it from the library. I started listening to it, and it's a really cool story, but I didn't realize that it was kind of like a YA book. So it's quite juvenile, with like teenage crushes and like all this stuff. And like that, if you could eliminate that stuff, it's really good. I guess it's like a series. There's like 4 or 5 books in the series, but it's really cool. It's like these college students that they're doing summer school to prepare for college, and they go to this university and they're staying in these dorms, and what they learn is that these dorms used to be a mental hospital, but the college purchased it and created dorms out of the cells. And so it's kind of creepy and all that stuff, and it's really cool because I've a sort of like a fascination with that type of like psychological horror, that kind of thing. And it's cool in that way, but it's also quite like, if I was 15 and read this, I would have loved it. Like 40 and reading it. I made sure I finished the first one. I'm not entirely sure. Like if I'm in gaps of waiting for like another book, I'll continue. Right. Like I liked it. It was cute. Let's put it that way. It was cute, and it was like teenager scary. It's not like adult scary or anything, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So,
and it can be good to have like a little palate cleanser between like, you know, real like more meaty books. Like it doesn't mean that the less meaty ones are actively bad, and YA isn't like a genre to speak ill of, I guess. Like, no, but it does have some particular things that you know are not things that I jive with anymore, like the romance type stuff. I totally get that, right?
And a different type of romance too. Like it's definitely like a teenager crush. Like, does she like me? Does she not? Does she like me? Like you got a daisy and you're picking the little petals off. Like it's like that. Yeah. So that aspect of it is not the best, but in like the meat of the story, the general premise was really good, and I enjoyed it. And it ends on this like, there's gonna be a sequel at the end. So like the author, Madeline Rowe, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, did like 4 of these books or so. So anyway, if that's what you're into, check it out. I thought it was at least mildly entertaining, like mediumly entertaining. Hey, I'm putting it on my list as a book read. So there we go. And now I'm back into The Passage, which that is like That's the meaty stuff that we're talking about. This is a 37-hour listen. So, and there's 3 of them, and I'm still on the first one. But yeah, so other than like melting things, setting things on fire, and reading books, I guess that was my week. Sheep, how's your week been?
So I'm pretty sure that I mentioned like last week that I thought that I had a sinus infection. Yeah, it was.
Rough.
Yeah, it was indeed quite rough. Today's really the first day that I'm kind of sort of feeling like a little bit normal. So like went to the doctor on like Saturday, and you know, the weekend was kind of like all that. Man, that is why the most recent podcast episode came out so much later, because I just couldn't hear very well. I was needing to like stop and sneeze and stop and do the other kinds of expelling of things that are consistent with a sinus infection. So not going to go into details. It was not fun.
Expelling of things. Got it.
Yeah. It was kind of hard to focus and listen and all that through that. So
100%.
Yeah. And so I wasn't really listening to books. I wasn't really listening to podcasts. I wasn't really watching anything. Like, man, it's just been kind of miserable. But today I am feeling normal again. Yesterday at about like 4, like I felt the kind of like release, and then it was like, okay. Like the infection part is gone. All of the expelling of the things hopefully is now, they're all mostly all done being expelled, and I can just be normal again. Just in time for Cataclysm to hit next Tuesday. And we have a mega bundle giveaway going on in the chat right now. We started it right before the show started. We'll be giving that away at the end of the show. And we'll have one in the Discord as well. We'll be putting that up after the show, and that'll be given away. When do we want to give that away, Hydra? The night before, so Monday night, Tuesday morning before release.
We could do Monday night, the second one. This one we'll do at the end of the show. But if you have done your exclamation ticket 1, still be in the chat at the end of the show to receive your winnings if you are drawn. If you are not in the chat, we will re-roll to somebody else. So make sure you are in the chat at the end of the episode.
Yeah, buddy. So excitement abounds for that thing. And you know what, Hydra? I'm ready to hear more about it in the news, my friend.
Welcome to the news. The news is so good.
All right. So we have patch notes for patch 35.0.0.0.0.0. Just straight up patch 35. So this launched a couple days ago, Tuesday, I believe. And I guess the biggest thing is prepare for Cataclysm March 17th. So this coming Tuesday, be prepared. The expansion will be launched. If you have not already pre-ordered or won a bundle, stick around for the mega bundle. Yeah, try to grab it or pre-purchase if you have not already. Of course, we've talked about this before, 135 cards. I think they reduced it by 10, they said, from the last expansion. So that's super cool. Now, They talk about the rewards track. We'll get into that a little bit later. But the free access to Dream City trial cards. So starting back 3 days ago on March 10th, you got full access to every card from Into the Emerald Dream and the Lost City of Ungoro. And this isn't just regular cards. This is the golden version of the cards. They are trial versions, and you can use them throughout the entirety of the Cataclysm expansion. So if, let's say, you were away and you didn't pre-purchase these, you didn't play a lot, doesn't matter. You can use them all. They're giving them to you, and it's a good basis to build. You know, when like a new expansion like launches, it's not just all new cards from that expansion. You're building on previous strategies, right? Mm-hmm. So if there's decks that are already good and there's going to be some new stuff, you open some new cards, you're going to be able to play some pretty sick decks, I think. So I think that's pretty cool of Blizzard to do. We'll get into that a little bit later in our discussion topic on, you know, how people feel about this situation. Now, a lot of us, I don't know if that's a good whale sound. It sounded like a wolf howling almost. Sheep, can you make a whale sound?
It really did.
I don't have a whale button.
Hello.
I'm a whale. So, Team 5 states to us that if you already own most of these cards and you're a whale, don't worry.
Hello.
We've still got something cool for you. So, earning the only missing a few Emerald Dream achievement grants you a signature legendary Ysera Emerald aspect, while completing only missing a few Lost City rewards, a signature legendary Endbringer Umbra. So you get some pretty cool shinies for, you know, having the collection already. So don't fret. If you put that time in, you get something anyways. Everyone is getting something. So that's cool. So there's going to be also... Oh, go ahead, Sheep.
It looks like, too, since those are achievements, that that's something that you can, you know, if you get more of the cards later enough to actually earn that achievement, that you'll be able to unlock these signature cards like later, too. So
yeah,
I
not
think
just
that's
instant,
really cool.
I guess. You can still progress to it. Yeah, good point.
Kind of like Diamond Patches when you get all Mean Streets of Gadget Sand cards, right? Like, for example, you don't have to have all of them for these signature cards. So that's pretty kicking rad too.
Right on. So there's going to be, like every expansion, deck recipe updates. They'll be in the client for you when we're ready to go. Now, the pre-release Tavern Brawl. Cool. We like this, right? This is like an event that's been happening for a while. Now, the cool thing about this is the reward. There's different achievements. Let me read the achievements first. So, Cataclysm pre-release champion. That is, finish a pre-release Tavern Brawl run with 6 wins for the Cataclysm expansion. Your reward is 2 tavern tickets and 1 Cataclysm pack. Now, if you're going to do the the Cataclysm pre-release Pro, finish a pre-release Tavern Brawl run without losing a game for the Cataclysm expansion. Your reward is the Brawler card back and 2 tavern tickets. So this card back is exclusive to the pre-release Pro, and it is really cool. Like,
It is.
What are your thoughts on this one? It's like you're in the hearth, like the inn,
the
right?
tavern. Yeah,
you're in the tavern. It's the beer mug, and it's got the foam, and it's going around the logo in the middle. Like, it's super cool. Kind of hard to obtain, do you think?
Yes, very much so. And a lot of it kind of seems to come down to like pack RNG. Not nearly all of it, obviously. Like you have to also be incredibly skilled and whatnot, but you know, it's not like you can just go out and net deck someone who did this, because there's a finite amount of cards that you can get, even if you're just like dropping all of the money on it. So it's definitely a one that I mean, I hope I'll be able to get it this weekend. That'd be pretty cool. But if not, then I'm not going to be too worried about it, because I mean, this feels like the Crimson Sigh, and this one is not one that I'm going to be like spending a ton of money to try and attain. So yeah.
They've been pretty good about, I mean, maybe 2 years from now, it'll be one of those like, oh, get a card back that you didn't get during the year of, you know, and you can grab it then. We'll see. I'm not sure. So the card pool, if you haven't already played the Tavern Brawl, it's Cataclysm, Across the Timeways, the event set, the core set, and the temporary access to Deathwing. So, but there are cards that have been removed from the format. So in case you're wondering, you cannot use the All Across the Timeways legendary cards, all Echoes of the Infinite mini set imbue cards, Twilight Time Hopper, Flux Revenant, Crusader Aura. Boo, just kidding. I don't like that card. Deja Vu. And I like it when I play Crusader Aura. And Bob the Bartender are out of play.
And since then, there have been some bans as well. So that has actually been slightly expanded. So that list has been expanded to include Chillfallen Baron, Remnant of Rage, Frostworm's Fury, Stitched Giant, Frost Strike, and Hematurge. If you can't tell, there were a lot of Death Knights. I did one run with Warrior, and then I was playing on mobile, and I couldn't, because there was a bug. I couldn't initiate another run, and you know, because I was sick, I wasn't really on the computer, so I haven't really done a second run yet. But yeah, whenever I played, it was before these additional bans, and there were in fact a lot of Death Knights, and I was doing well against them, so I wasn't particularly concerned about that.
That's
but apparently
funny.
they were pretty good.
Yeah. Well, if you're interested on how you can play, all players get one entry for free into the pre-release Tavern Brawl. After that, each entry costs 2 tavern tickets, or 300 gold, or 400 runestones. So you lock into your deck, and you get either 3 losses or 6 wins, and you see how you do, and you get those rewards. Now, next up, we have some balance changes. So these are some updates. Elise is first on the list, which has a lot. Do you know much about this? About Elise's updates?
Yeah, so they changed a ton of aspects. So for one, all of the durability went from 3 down to 2. So you're only getting 2 effects of whatever it is. That in and of itself is a huge nerf, right? But then they also nerfed additional aspects to it. So Bursting Geyser, that's the one, Death Rattle, deal however much damage to all enemies. They nerfed that at all 3 stages. So the 10 cost location used to deal 10 and now only deals 5 AoE to all enemies. The 5 cost location used to deal 5, now only deals 3. And the 1 used to deal 3 and now only deals 1.
Oh my goodness. Where's the, I gotta read the dev comment on this. Oh my goodness. You continue.
So Nesting Grounds was also nerfed. That's the summon however many 2/1 raptors with rush. So the 1 cost location was 1 raptor. That's staying the same. The 5 cost location used to be 3 raptors. It's now only 2. That's a big deal. And then the 10 cost location used to be 6 raptors, and it's now only 4. And I mean, whenever I'd play this, that's typically all I'd like be getting anyway, like because I'd have other minions, but still, they lowered all of those too. They also hit the Radiant Crystals part. That's the summon a however much stats copy of a friendly minion. Guess what? That's the part that's being changed. So the 10 cost location, you used to get a 10 copy of a 10/10 copy of a minion. Now you get a 5/5. The 5 cost location, you used to get a 5/5. Now you get a 3/3 copy. And the 1 cost location, you used to get a 1/1. And now you cannot select that from the 1 cost location at all. It's just out of the pool. So those are the changes to Elise's locations. What contextualization can you give us, Hydra?
Actually, I thought the dev comment was specific to Elise, but it's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it's not. But you know what? Actually, let me scroll down and see if there is one at the bottom that talks about it. I don't think there is. But this
probably not. There's a ton in these patch notes. So
it's this. So I'm not a like standard main by any means. I still do play standard, like just for fun. I usually have like anywhere between like a 7 and 9x, kind of float back and forth, just what I do. And this seems so harsh. Like there's
right.
Like, and the funny thing is, I don't even like playing Elise. Sometimes I feel like I'm forcing something I don't want to do. I'm building my deck I'm playing a Wisp just because, like, I don't know, man. Like, it almost felt like a stretch for me to run the card in the first place. And I don't always get the benefits. And now the benefits are like half of what they used to be. Like, it sounds brutal.
Yeah. Doesn't it though? So I have not played almost any since this patch hit, so I can't tell you if standard is playing with this because, you know, aforementioned illness. So yeah. So I mean, gosh,
like, it's harsh.
I don't think I'm building a deck around Elise. Like the whole reason why, you know, it was worth making your deck worse and running like a Wisp is because the effect was so strong. Like, because you could do 4/4 or, you know, 4-drop Elise into, 5 location to getting 3 raptors that all of your things have +2 attack. That didn't change, the attack part. But now you're only having 2, so you're contesting with fewer things. 2 raptors. You used to be able to, you know, if you had different options, you know, if your situation was different or one of those wasn't provided, you could get a 5/5 copy of a thing on 5 plus the other effect. And now it's a 3/3. And that, I mean, that tempo is a loss. Like, instead of playing a 5-drop location and a 5/5 and plus you're discovering a card or whatever, you're getting a 3/3, and that tempo loss is just so big. Whereas before, at the very least, the location itself like didn't feel like such a tempo loss because you'd have either the 3-2-2s, now only 2 of them, or a 5-5. Sometimes you're doing both, like whatever it is. But those being restricted to that extent just makes it so much worse, to the point where like it's not worth making your deck worse. Like I'm not going to run a Wisp to get Elise anymore because she doesn't seem like her locations doesn't seem like the comeback mechanic that they once were. And at that point, why bother? I'm just going to run a better deck. I'm cutting Elise and at least one other card.
I'm guessing Elise was just in too many decks with too high of a played win rate or something. And they're like, hey, let's make room for some new things. Like they always do.
Yeah.
Like
but,
you used to get a
only
10-10 copy of something. Now you get a 5-5. That's not even like cutting it down to an 8-8 or 7-7. Like it's down to a 5-5. Like it's brutal. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the other ones that we have here. So this has been a staple, and it's an annoying card. Do not get me wrong. I hate this card when I play Standard. I really do. So Blob of Tar was a 4-mana 2/4. Y'all know it. Death Rattle summon a 1/2 blob with poisonous and a 1/2 blob with taunt. I mean, it's the exact. No, it's not the exact. So it's now 5 mana. It's a 4/4 instead of a 2/4, right? So cool, I guess. But now you get a 2/2 blob with poisonous and a 2/2 blob with taunt. So I can't tell if I like this or hate this change. It costs 5 mana. So yeah, it's worse in that way. But it now has 4 attack.
Yeah.
And the blobs are bigger.
Yeah. So the attack only really matters for the blob with taunt, because the ones with poison, the attack was essentially infinity anyway, right?
Well, the attack on the main drop, the blob of tar.
The main one and the poisonous one, both. Like the additional attack doesn't help. You're right. So only the one with taunt is impactful. The thing that this really hits is that Demon Hunter loop, where they'd play Blob of Tar, then they'd play the 4 mana like Death Rattle, or 5 mana Death Rattle card that would bring 2 copies of a Death Rattle minion that was 4 or less back, and then return policy to continue getting additional Blobs of Tar with that Death Rattle effect, and then just do that over and over and over again. That additional mana, that 1 mana up, keeps that entire loop out of the equation. So they essentially killed that loop. It's gone. There is still another Demon Hunter Death Rattle card that kind of does that, but it's 7 mana for 1. So like if you want to play both in the same turn, you have to have 10 mana. If you want to just get it down, like it's a 7 mana 7/5. Like it's much harder to do than the 5 mana 5/3. Like it just is. So that I think is a good thing. I'm very happy that play pattern is gone, because Demon Hunter was just, I continue to stay alive. I continue to stay alive. I continue to stay alive. Baroxigar combo. And then just doing that thing. So I personally think that for Standard was a bit of a toxic play pattern, because everything else was either like Control Warrior, and I'm doing that, like getting big things, but like Control Warrior is much more of a kind of classic control deck. Like it doesn't have that like boom OTK aspect, right? Like it has lethality, but not an OTK as part of it.
100%.
So that's what was really hit with that 1 mana change. And then the attack is, while it looks like a lot because it's 2 on the main body and then 1 across both, only the 1 to the taunt one is actually impactful because of the poisonous.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in like if you want to get really picky, if you were to silence it and doesn't have the poisonous, then the attack matters.
Also true. Yeah.
But
that's a good call.
All right, what's next? We got Creature of Madness. So y'all have seen this card. Everyone's seen this card a lot. Used to be a 1/2. It is now a 1/1. Oh, you hurt my boy. Creature of Madness is going down to a 1/1 for 2 mana. And if you were not aware, I'm sure you are though, it has the battle cry, discover a 3-cost minion with a dark gift. That just, it continues your curve, right? Which is what's so cool about this card is you play it on turn 2. You now have a turn 3 play. It's just got worse stats at this point. Any comments on this sheep?
Yeah, the body was never really what we were playing Creature of Madness for. Like it was in the curve aspect, like you were talking about. Like yes, this does end up slightly impacting it, but because of hero powers and things like that. But the real power of Creature of Madness is, yes, being able to do your curve stone and like, hey, your opening hand is bad, but it's the versatility of it. It's like, hey, I draw a Creature of Madness late in the game. I have 5 mana or more. I know that I'm playing both at once. Like I can look for different things because it's a discover. It's got a dark gift. Like, oh, I just need a taunt right here. Oh, I just need a little bit more face damage. You could always kind of find that. And that aspect has stayed around. So I don't think that this will impact the playability or the play rate of Creature of Madness, but it is a little bit worse.
Yeah, 100% agreed. A 1/2 for 2 was never actually good, right? Like no one was playing it.
No.
yeah, for itself. It's just gonna die. And plus, even if you are playing this, late game or on curve, if you're playing it on curve and you're getting that 3-cost minion, it is a way better 3-cost minion than you would ever get anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it makes up, I'm pretty sure playing it on curve, it makes up for the 1 health that you're missing on it because those dark gifts are great.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's fine. It's totally fine. Prescient Slither Drake. Oh man, it used to be a 6/9. Rip.
Right? The meme is gone.
It's now 6/8. Actually, so while I don't play a lot of Standard, I have played some Dragon Warrior. And this card's cool, man. Like it's a good card. So anyways, it's gone down to a 6/8 instead of 6/9. So elusive costs 3 less if you're holding another dragon. I like playing this for like 4 mana or 3 mana with a coin, whatever. It's a big deal. I've won a lot of games with this card, and I think it losing 1 health, fair enough. It's still a big boy to play early. Still a good card. Sure. Yeah. That deck. So I've been playing it recently and I'm winning way more than I'm losing. So I get why they would want to nerf it. Do you have any comments on it, Sheep?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still a good card. This one, unlike the Creature of Madness, like the whole point is to get a big body out early that your opponent can't interact with. And it still does that, right? You still pay 4 mana if you're holding another dragon to get a 6/8 down with elusive. So it's still going to stick around, but it's just going to stick around a tiny bit less, 1 less health. And so, I mean, I think that makes sense. Like, it seems like a fine nerf. They weren't trying to just completely get rid of the deck or the card. Like, yeah, all right.
And it's still elusive. Like, they could have got rid of that.
Yeah. Yeah, if they'd gotten rid of the elusive, that would have changed it so much more.
Yeah. All right, so speaking of that deck, Stone Carver has been nerfed. So this is funny. I'll read the nerf first, then I'll explain why I think it's funny. Okay. Stone Carver is a 2-mana 1/4 minion that reads, or used to read, at the end of your turn, give a random friendly damage minion +2/+2. It now reads, at the end of your turn, give another friendly damage. Why does it say the exact? No, it said another. So it used to be random. It used to be another one. So it used to say give a random friendly minion +2/+2. Now it says give another. So the difference there is it doesn't give itself the +2/+2. And so what I found, I didn't think that it was actually going to buff itself in the beginning, right? So like you could just rip this out. And like I remember not wanting to play it because I wanted it to buff something else, right? Because I thought that's how it worked. But I played it for Temple one time and someone attacked it with like a weapon or something, and then it buffed itself. I'm like, ha, what?
Oh,
this card is awesome.
And it was, man, just a little too awesome.
Yeah.
I get
it,
yeah.
I was gonna say it can buff if the other, so you could play 2 of these and they'll buff each other now, right? So
yes,
that's why, because it's still technically buffing a different minion because they're the same card. There's still a different minion on the board.
Same one. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can do that and they can buff each other. It just will no longer buff itself, which I didn't think was possible in the first place, but it was.
And so, you know how for the whichever one that we were talking about, Creature of Madness, we were talking about the kind of like curve stone element. Stone Carver had a curve stone scam. So, you'd play the 1 mana location that deals damage and gives something +2 attack.
Yeah.
You don't do anything on, you don't activate it because that's your turn 1.
Of course.
You're going first. On turn 2, you play Stone Carver, and then you hit that end, and then it's a 3/3. Oh, but at the end of the turn, it's a 5/5. And dealing with a 5/5 is kind of difficult on turn 2. And then the next turn, it's a 7/7, and you play like a taunt or
it scales
whatever.
So ridiculously.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then on turn 3, you're playing a 4 mana 6/9 with elusive, and you've got a 9/9 that's buffing thing. Like, yeah. It was that scam element of it buffing itself, and then because it's bigger, it's harder to destroy. And that I have been both the beneficiary and the recipient of many a Stone Carver scam. And so I think it makes complete sense to get rid of the scam element of the card and have it work like, honestly, it probably should have all the time, like you thought it did.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's so funny because I only did start playing the Dragon Warrior package in Standard because I had a quest, to play warrior decks or whatever. It's like, okay, cool. Let's see what's on HS Replay because I don't play Standard very often. I was like, Dragon Warrior, cool. I like that. I used to play Dragon Warrior in the past. Let's play it again. This is like a few weeks ago. And
Such a fun deck.
Why have I not been doing this the whole time? It's so fun. And I don't know if it picked up recently or something, but I wasn't hitting any mirrors. I was just killing it though.
Oh, and so my MMR has for this one kind of gone back and forth between 10x and 11x for this expansion cycle. So in the high 10x, low 11x kind of bracket, it is very, very present. Very, very present.
Well, down at our 9x,
and has been for a while.
I didn't see it at all. But I also don't play a lot of standards, so that's kind of funny. I was just breezing through everyone. I'm like, why is no one playing this deck? It's awesome.
Oh yeah, pretty much since the mini set hit, like that's been one of the mainstays, at the very least in that rank bracket range.
That's funny. All right. So I think you had some comments on this card. So this is the Unleash the Cataclysm one. So if you're unaware, Unleash the Cataclysm, also a warrior card, used to be a 1 mana spell, gain 10 armor, summon 2 1/3 beasts for your opponent. It is now 2 mana to do the exact same thing. What's the impact of this, Sheep?
It's just making Control Warrior a little bit worse. And just a little bit, right? 100% nerf, like that's still very impactful, right? It keeps, well, until rotation, when Brawl is going to be removed from standard, but it keeps the, one mana Unleash the Cataclysm into a Brawl. Now so that's a 6 mana thing. Now it's a 7 mana clear. For our purposes, it also is impactful. Like we were and still will play Unleash the Cataclysm, I imagine. In even warrior, like now we can do it, right? So Unleash the Cataclysm was already a wild relevant card, or was a wild relevant card, and I doubt that the nerfs have changed that aspect. It's made it a little slower, made it a little worse, and opened up the potential for even warrior.
Yeah, I like that. Honestly, if it's gonna make something a little more valid that hasn't been valid recently, awesome. I love the odd and even stuff, and it doesn't always come up anymore, like as much as it used to. So that's cool.
And Bag in chat has been playing Even Warrior with Unleash and Frozen Buckler since the nerf, and now having 4 Pyroblasts with Odin. Oh my gosh, Bag, I wanna play that too. Like, sign me up. That sounds incredible. Like, yes, please.
All right. Well, next up, I think this is a pretty intense nerf to a card. So Ursine Maul, it's the paladin weapon that y'all know and love. the 4 mana, 4 attack, with 2 swings. After your hero attacks, draw your highest cost card. Wait. Hold on. What does it say? What is it? Draw a card, Sheep. Does that mean you can no longer tutor your highest cost card?
Correct. So it's now a paladin 4 mana 4/2, draw 2 cards when you swing twice. And Ursine Maul in standard has been at the scene of a number of different war crimes and nerfs that have
war
been
crimes.
I mean, it's standard, so it's they're baby war crimes, but they're there.
Yeah. War crimes.
Like back in the day, they were doing I can never remember which one it is, Ursoc or Ursul, the paladin legendary that would play the largest spell from your hand as an aura. And so you'd play Ursine Maul, you'd play whichever Ursoc or Soul it is. And then, so you draw that, and then you get I'm terrible with card names. The 7 mana card, that's your next highest cost card, that has lifesteal and does 4 damage to the lowest cost enemy. So that can go face, but it can also just completely clear the board. That's what it was doing back in the day. What it has been doing more recently is Gelbin shenanigans. So you play Ursine Maul on 4, you draw, you hit in that turn, you get Ziliax. The next turn you play Dorian, then you hit in and you get Gelbin, and Gelbin costs 1. If you have the coin, you play Gelbin that turn. If you don't, you play it the next turn. So Ursine Maul has been at the core of 2 of these nerfs. Well, 2 of these kind of negative play patterns.
Yeah.
And it got the nerf the second time.
I was just going to say the whole Dorian, Gelbin, Ursine Maul thing is cool when it happens. Lining it up is a little more, you got to draw really well. I'm just saying, like
I mean, you do, but that's the scam though. Like, and if you don't get it, like you can essentially drop Dorian later and trade something or draw like and get something. But the scam, like the way that standard kind of works is like there's a scam element to it. Like the stone carver that we were talking about earlier, like the Ursine Maul that we're talking about now. And if the scam doesn't work out, like if you don't just happen to draw really well, then there's still good cards and it's still a cohesive deck otherwise. So, yeah.
I guess when you have your heart set on the scam, I guess the lesson is don't have your heart set on the scam. But now you can't, so it doesn't matter anyway. You know what? When it's reinstated into wild and unnerfed, you could try again. Let's put it that way.
Well, and here's the thing that I would do in standard, because I played a ton of those 2 decks in particular. You drop Ursine Maw on 4, you hit in, you're drawing your Ziliax. No, you do swing. You definitely swing. You draw your Ziliax. You make your...
Oh, that, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. And so then the next turn, you make it more likely that you're going to be drawing your Dorian. So that it kind of plays into that, like, statistically as well, making that more likely too. So regardless, you were going to swing in. That's kind of the secret behind the scam, is just run like you're going to get the scam no matter what. And if you don't get it, doesn't matter. Draw Gelbin and be happy with your life. But the scam potential is still very much alive. Alas, not anymore. Not anymore.
Not anymore. All right, we've got 2 of these left. So we have Deja Vu. Old, discover a copy of a card in your opponent's hand. It costs 1 less. New, discover a copy in your opponent's hand. So we don't get the discount anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Deja Vu was being run in pretty much every rogue deck, and now I think it's going to be in standard. And now I think it's probably going to be more limited to the more Burgle like mechanics, which Rogue is getting more of with the expansion. So like I think you're still going to see Deja Vu in standard, but the discount being gone is very impactful. Like you're not just going to jam it into pretty much any Rogue deck at that point. Maybe you still will. Like maybe the other Rogue cards aren't good. I don't know.
I mean, like, it was cool because you get your money back, right? You paid 1, you get your mana back. At this point,
which feels so Rogue.
At this point, you're paying a premium to do it, I suppose, right. If you think about it, right? Mm-hmm. Anyway, enough about Deja Vu. Remnant of Rage. So this is a 7 mana, 5/4
now?
Well, it used to be a 6/5. It is now a 5/4 undead demon. So this, if you don't recall, costs 1 less for each minion that died this turn. Battle cry, draw 2 cards. Very powerful card, right? So I guess the biggest, it still does the exact same thing, right? It just doesn't have the same stats.
Yeah.
Demon Hunter and Death Knight card, by the way.
Yes. And both of which had, and probably still have, a lot of ways to have a lot of tokens that would, just completely clear a board, and then you're dropping. Now it's only a 5/4 and drawing 2 cards. So I imagine that play pattern will persist, and just making it now a 5/4 instead of a 6/5 that you have to contend with as the opponent feels fine. Like, just like we talked about with the prescient Slither Drake before, like, you're still going to play this card. It's just
nothing
a little bit worse.
Nothing changes for you. Like, you don't have to play it like later. Everything's fine. Everything plays the exact same. It's just, it can be killed easier. Really.
Yeah. And that's pretty much what was happening. Like, a board was being cleared, and then this was getting dropped and uncontested. And that's probably still going to happen. It's just 4 and 5 is not quite the break point that like 3 and 4 is, but it's still a lot easier to deal with than 5.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. So that was it for our recent updates. We went over all of the reverts last week, or at least Schmoopy Daddy and ElectricSheepCity did. So I feel like we jump into just the core set and New Year rotation update that's going to happen. And so
real quick before we do, be sure to go into the client and search refund in your collection. That's how you can pull up really quickly without having to memorize. Y'all, you know I'm terrible at card names. I'm never going to remember that. So if you go in and just type in refund, electric
explosive.
So if you go into the collection and hit refund, you don't have to remember names at all. And that's great because you can just see what all you can get your dust back for immediately and do that away. And there's a decent amount of dust to be had.
So a good habit is, like, if you're just catching this episode now and you're not, a regular intaker of like third-party Hearthstone content, or you are, what I do is I almost like once a week when I log into Hearthstone, like I make it like a once a week thing. I type in refund just for the heck of it, because I don't know if, like, I forget stuff. I'll forget if like I actually cashed in what I needed to cash in. And so I type in refund in my collection. I see what I can turn in, and I do it like on a regular basis, like once every week or two. I just do it anyway, because maybe I'll get some like false sense of security that since I talked about it on the podcast, I think I did it. But I didn't like actually do it. I just said it on here, and I never did it myself, right? So you got to go in and make sure, that you did that kind of thing. So yeah, I think it's a good practice to have. It's just type in refund every once in a while. Your collection, see what kind of dust you can get. Also, never dust until you can get a refund on something, unless absolutely necessary.
Another kind of recommendation for collection management is also I hold on to all of my extras. I never push the button. But at rotation, because standard gets a ton of nerfs, that just one more nerf mentality that we were talking about a little bit last week. So with the fact that if a card is in standard, it's much more likely to get nerfed, I'll disenchant my extra copies when things are rotating into wild. So I do what I call a little bit of dust speculation. Like Hydra was saying, don't disenchant. And wild cards still get hit sometimes, but at that point, I feel like it's a much more diminished return. And so I disenchant my extras going in.
It's less likely.
Wild. Yeah. Much less likely. We tend to get once a year, a few cards get hit. This past year, it seemed like 2, right? That was kind of a treat, but it wasn't the multiple cards that are getting hit like just happened in standard that we just covered. That's about what we get in a year, which is fine. I prefer our format kind of for that, right? But it's much less likely that a random card is going to get hit at any point. So that's my personal approach to collection management and the recommendation that I'd give to other people if they're not absolutely needing dust to craft decks and cards and do all that. If you have the collection to be able to hold on to things, I definitely recommend doing so.
Yeah, you're less of a hoarder than I am, Sheep. When you told me your approach, I'm like, that makes sense. When they rotate, you have extras. Sure. Why not? I haven't dusted.
It takes a while. Card
that has been rotated in years. I've got the 9+ on everything for the last 5 years that it's rotated. I haven't touched them. I don't know why. Maybe it'll be nerfed. You never know. Just I don't need the dust.
It is kind of a chore. It is kind of a chore. And I like playing with a lot of golden decks.
You do. So it makes sense if you've got 12 copies of something that is never going to be nerfed and it's in wild. Why would you not? Right. And then you can make something cool and shiny.
Right. Exactly. So that's my approach to it. It is a bit of a chore. I've mentioned on the show before that I have a mouse that I can do an auto clicker kind of thing. I do that because I don't want to just sit there and tap on my phone or click however many times. And I just,
so bougie.
I use the auto clicker.
Auto clicking. We don't click no more. We auto click.
Yeah.
It's amazing. All right. So a quick reminder to everyone about the rotation. Right. Okay. So Cataclysm launches on the 17th. We mentioned that before. At that time, cards from the year of the Pegasus. So that is Whizbang's Workshop, Perils in Paradise, and the Great Dark Beyond are rotating out of standard, but you play wild, don't you? That's why you're listening to this podcast. So that really doesn't matter to you unless you're sitting on this fine line of want to cross that line over to here wild, and you're going to miss those cards. So come on over.
Come on down.
And then also, we recently had the core set text changes on those cards that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. That has taken place. Now we have arena updates. Sheep, do you want to take us away on the arena updates?
Yeah, buddy. So starting on March 10th with patch 35.0. Hey, that's the patch notes we're reading. All ongoing arena runs will end, and a new arena season will have begun at this point because that was a few days ago. The season will use a fully created card pool that includes all Cataclysm cards, with the exception of Viranoth, which will be banned. That's right. Play with the new cards early. Cards from Cataclysm will be incorporated into the card pool on March 10th, a week before the new expansion releases on March 17th. This next one is something that I think is really cool. So for this season, cards with the Herald mechanic will receive an occurrence bonus. We've seen this before, but they will be limited to 2 copies in the initial draft. So like back in the day, before this patch, like, and with other arena cards, you'll still be able to do this. You can draft more than 2 copies of a card, right? And so whenever something was really, really good and, you know, had the increase of the like actual occurrence of being able to draft it, you know, people were not just getting the 8 for blah, 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 however many imbues or heralds you can get. They were getting significantly more because they weren't just getting, let's call it Herald of Herald. I don't remember any of the Herald card names. I already said I'm bad at card names.
That's okay.
Right? But
that's okay. Dragons.
Let's say Herald of Herald is a great card, costs 2 mana. You get 2 of them. Oh, I just got 8 of them. Well, all of a sudden it spirals out of control really quick. So limiting it to 2, like it is for most deck building, I think is a really elegant way of doing that, because it caps it at what the cap theoretically should be. And then,
okay.
Right? So
Yep.
I think that that's a really elegant way of addressing that kind of play pattern while still increasing the bonus to be able to actually encounter it. Like if something's really good, you can still get a lot of it. You just can't go too far with it. So I think that that's a really cool way of kind of having your cake and eating it too. So yeah. So also with Arena, this new season, like things are changing a lot. So in the underground, you used to get a particular skin for getting 12 wins in the underground, the Dragon Sword and Varden hero skin. Starting on March 10th, it will replace the previous reward. Oh no, that's the new one. I don't remember what the old one was. So before there was another one. Now it's going to be Dragon Sword and Varden.
Yeah.
After unlocking it, any subsequent 12 run wins will earn you an alternate prize of 2 golden Cataclysm packs. So that's cool. That's pretty cool too.
We take those.
So, of course, just like normal, when the expansion releases, all the Arena and Underground pack rewards will also update from the previous expansion, in this case, Across the Timeways packs, to the new one of Cataclysm packs. They've also added 5 new achievements to Arena. That's right. For each achievement, part 1 must be completed to do part 2.
So cool.
So these seem to be kind of like collection first and Arena second. So the first one is Cataclysmic Combatant. Part 1 that you have to do before you do part 2 is open 5 Cataclysm packs. Part 2 is finish an underground run with 6+ wins. So it's I'll read through these before giving my editorialization.
Yeah. I have thoughts.
Same. Cataclysmic Challenger. Open 10 Cataclysm packs. That's part 1. Part 2. Finish an underground run with 6+ wins. Reward 2 tavern tickets. Cataclysmic Rival. You have to open 20 Cataclysm packs. Part 2, you guessed it, finish an underground arena run with 6+ wins. Reward, you guessed it, 2 tavern tickets. Cataclysmic Duelist. Open 35 Cataclysm packs is the first part. Part 2, you guessed it, finish an underground arena run with 6+ wins. Reward, you guessed it, 2 tavern tickets. And Cataclysmic Gladiator. Part 1 is open 50 Cataclysm packs. And I think you know Part 2 and the reward. Part 2, you finish an underground arena run with 6+ wins. And the reward is 2 tavern tickets.
Yeah. So I'll go first if you don't mind. And then I'll give you the floor. So
You're good.
if you do this and didn't read the instructions, you're gonna be mad, right? Like you're gonna kind of be upset about this. So you have to remember, and it's easy to get packs in a new expansion, right? Like they're on the rewards track, especially at the beginning. They're there. They give them to you from the Tavern Brawl. You get them everywhere. So it's not that big of a deal. You just got to remember to open those packs first. I'm sure you've earned the gold to open some packs. You just got to remember to do it first. What I think is kind of greasy is having it in that order, I guess, right? Is to remember to open the packs, do the challenge. Open the packs, do the challenge. Now, I think we talked about this last time because this isn't the first time that we've had this exact type of reward system in this order. This has happened before. Now, did we ever like conclusively come to the answer of, so for the first part, it's open 5, right? Now, when you get to the second, so that's the Cataclysmic Combatant, right? Open 5, get your 6 wins, you get your reward. Now it's open 10. Is it 10 more or is it 5 more?
So since they're different achievements, it should all be different things because they're different achievements. These are all mutually exclusive part 1s. So like if you have, what is it? Like if you've opened 5 packs, you've gotten Cataclysmic Combatant, you should be halfway to Cataclysmic Challenger because
you would think.
You should.
I'm like just trying to read the fine print here, right? Like are we good? Because the worst would be if it didn't work that way. When you get down to the bottom on Duelist, like you open 35 packs and then you got to open an additional 50, that'd be brutal. But if you only got to get 15 more instead of 50 more, obviously that's like way better, right? But like just asking the fine. You ever signed a document? You ever bought a house? You ever bought a car? You got to read those. Read the fine print on some things, right? Like, is it 50 more packs or a total? It doesn't say a total like throughout the thing. So these are the questions I ask when we get this stuff. I think it's kind of cool to do all this stuff. What are your thoughts, Sheep?
My thoughts. So my first thought is that this is kind of trying, like a weird way of trying to monetize Arena in ways that
additionally monetize Arena.
Weird. Yeah. That just kind of feel weird. Like it doesn't feel like bad or sketchy. It maybe a little greasy, but like it just feels weird, right? Like if I'm an Arena main, and I'm not, I play a decent amount of Arena, but like I'm by no stretch of the imagination a main, right? how many Cataclysm packs am I going to open? You know, before I hit six plus wins in the underground. Before I hit 6+ wins, not that many. Like maybe 5, because that's how much it like chucks at you when you very first like log in, right? Maybe not even 5, because
It's just a full run with 6 wins too. It's not like a cumulative 6 wins. It's a full run.
It's a full run. And so if I have no clue how many packs I've opened, well, I guess I can check the part 1s to see like if I'm searching for it. But like, you know, when you open a few packs, they chuck how many achievements at you. I'm not gonna lie, I don't read most of those achievements. I just kind of click, because they're typically just you got X amount of commons from like the monk class. I've never gotten one for the monk class because we don't have that. But but you know. And so if you don't know how many you have, and then you go in and you like, oh, I got an achievement for like Cataclysmic Rival, and I see that I've, you know, because I've opened 20 packs, like I've gotten that one, but there's Cataclysmic Dueler and Gladiator. It's just weird that the part 1 is opening packs, which in Arena feels like a more of a part 2, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
getting the runs
like why is that?
is
How is that the start? Well, it's really cool that the reward is 2 tavern tickets, which gives you a single chance to do it again.
Yeah, it needing to be in the underground, you know, yes, the 2 tickets gives you an additional shot at it, but that's why I'm not going to end up with these achievements. Like you know how I said I play a decent amount of Arena? I play a decent amount of what Schmoopy Daddy calls the baby arena, because like that's
he plays a lot of baby arena too.
He does. Yeah, absolutely. Because that's what's accessible from my free to play account. Like I don't want to gamble like that much. It's like what, 150 gold per ticket. So like 3 packs worth to like maybe just fizzle out. Whereas a pack and a half's worth. Yeah. Okay. And I almost always get at least 2, if not more packs back. So I'm probably never going to get these achievements, and that's okay because these are for Arena mains.
At least there's
the part 1 being the pack opening is just kind of weird because like we talked about, the opening of packs feels like so much more of a reward for getting the good Arena run that it just kind of feels backwards.
The only thing they're really locked out of is the hero skin, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's 12 wins.
I've never done that one.
I'm still stuck in
I haven't tried.
11, I think, if I look at my thing, which is annoying.
Oh, I think I had like
That's
10
okay.
from Arena runs from like before, whenever it was just the key thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I did not play a ton of Arena back in the day.
Neither did I really. I think I got really lucky one time it went far.
But I really like the quote unquote baby arena and like the underground arena split. And I feel like that's really good. And I really like playing arena. I just typically play the baby one because I play it a lot on my free to play account.
Yeah. All right. Well, we must move on. There's more in the news. So quickly, we'll just talk about the deck recipe Tavern Brawl. So from the 17th to the 25th. So the 17th is when the new expansion Cataclysm launches. There is going to be a Tavern Brawl. Well, you can just pick a class and you can play a deck from the new expansion, which could, I guess, gear you possibly towards what you want to play, but be careful because they nerf things really quickly in new expansions these days. So if like one class is really killing it, I'd probably hold off. I'd probably hold off a little bit. Then we have from April 1st to April 8th. And I don't know if this is a joke because it starts on April 1st. You never know with these people. It's called a totally normal game of Hearthstone, ? So once again, it's a tavern brawl. Play a totally normal game of Hearthstone. After you play a card, who knows what will happen? So you play something else happens. Sounds fun. Then from April 8th to 15th, it's a whiz-bang tavern brawl. So there's a chance for you and an opponent to pick one of his custom concoction decks and battle it. Cool. Sure. Random whiz-bang fun. We take those. Sounds like a fun time. Get your free pack for the new Cataclysm expansion. Then we have events coming up. So at the launch, so March 17th, as we've mentioned multiple times, that is when the new expansion launches, we will have the new event. So from the 17th of March to April 7th, Thrall needs your help defending the tavern from Deathwing's assault on Azeroth. Thrall played a key role in the defeat of the original Deathwing. So it's no surprise that his ultimate incarnation is setting in the tavern to ablaze to draw him out. To claim your rewards, do what you can to aid Thrall. It is not too late. So this event, you can get 6 Cataclysm card packs, 6 Across the Timeways card packs, and 2 golden Across the Timeways card packs. And then the Dragon Scarred Thrall hero skin, which I'm guessing is new.
Ooh. Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
I'm not familiar with that character at all. So if there is another portrait of the character, I'm not aware of it. But that looks completely new all the way around. And Shaman, that looks so sick.
Yeah. Looks awesome. And then so that one runs till April 7th. And then so after that, we've got April 7th through 14th. So this one is In the Dragon's Fire. So this event gives you 2 random Cataclysm common cards, 2 random Cataclysm rare cards, and 2 Cataclysm random epic cards, and then a card pack at the end. Or no, that's actually second to the end. But yeah, so just more stuff for the expansion. It's kind of funny how they listed it out of order. According to the picture. Kind of bothers me a little bit.
It's like rain on your wedding day.
Hey, shout out to Canadian artists. Thank you.
Exactly. Also, I slightly misspoke earlier. The Dragon Scarred is the moniker that I hadn't heard of before. Obviously, I'm familiar with the character of Thrall.
At no point did I think you had no idea who Thrall was. I'm sure you've played plenty of totems in your life.
Totemly. Well, right. This next one is something that'll affect the Omega Whales. And that is expanding the card duplicate reroll system. So they've updated the card reroll system to accommodate duplicate legendary signatures. So if you acquire a duplicate legendary signature card, if you already have one, and you get a second one, which means that you had to have had all of the other signatures. So you know how I said the Omega Whale problem? This is that. You can now, very much so, you will now have the option to be able to re-roll it to get a golden legendary from the same set. So if you've just gotten super duper lucky, then I guess that's beneficial. But like if you've been like chasing all of the signature legendaries, odds are you probably have all of the golden legendaries. So like may as well keep 2 of the signatures because that's kind of cool. But I guess maybe if it's like a signature that you think is just stupid and never going to get hit, or you hate the art, or then sure, whatever. I mean, it definitely does make it a little bit better for the Omega whales, of which I used to be one and am no longer. Thank you very much. Yeah. So I don't think that I will get the benefit of this. But I mean, like I said, from the perspective of whenever I was, like, I don't know that I would have used it because why bother? Like,
Yeah, I mean, this is like a first world, first class problem.
uh-huh.
Yeah. And if you
Very
are
much
dealing
so.
with this, good for you.
Yeah.
They lost me at signature. Like, to be honest, I was not going to chase these bad boys. I know some of them are cool, but that is when I knew that I was like, there's this whole class of card that I know I can never get them all, and I'm going to have to start paying for them. I'm done. Like, and I'm not doing it.
I was on the train for longer than I would care to admit, but you know, signature cards look so freaking cool. I just wish that they were a little bit more accessible, but I understand why they're not, because that's how you make the monies. So as long as I can continue playing all the cards and it's just like the fancy pixels, cool.
Right?
All right.
All right. So there's going to be free packs in the BattleNet shop and special deals. I'm not going to talk about all the special deals, but the free packs is cool, right? So there's a free pack claim schedule. So week 1, so that's March 24th through 31st, you can get 1 golden Cataclysm pack. Week 2, that's the next week. I won't read the exact dates. You get 1 regular Cataclysm pack, and then the following week, so this is week 3, so ending at April 14th, 1 free Cataclysm pack. So you get 3 packs for free.
Yeah.
Basically, if you just, you know, log in and go to the store, you can get those free packs.
Mm-hmm. And I will say the only thing noteworthy about the like special deal part is something that they haven't really done before. So I'm not going to go through the details of what each of the different bundles are. But one thing that's kind of interesting is that they'll be in the battle.net shop from March 24th through April 21st, and the in-game shop from March 31st through April 21st. So same end date, but the start date, it starts on the BNet shop a week before it goes to the in-game shop, which is kind of interesting. You know, we don't usually see like bundles in the BNet shop, so it's interesting that they're putting those there as well. But, it looks like one of them, like the Golden Legends of the Timeways bundle, that has the exact same dates, but all of the others have that kind of staggered. It starts in the BNet shop for a week before it's in the in-game shop. So
I don't know about you.
Interesting.
I found that the BattleNet launcher doesn't do a great job of advertising Hearthstone stuff, or you know what I mean? Like there's always sales on all these other games, and Hearthstone's not really featured. Maybe this is an attempt at doing that, like putting it there first, catching your attention in the launcher, because even, say you're a StarCraft player and it sort of scrolls through the different things and you don't really touch Hearthstone much. Maybe they'll see it there now and they'll feature it a little bit more. But there's not much there. Like, you ever think about when they've got their big sales? Oh, Diablo's 50% off. And you're like, oh, let's click on Hearthstone and see if there's anything there because they didn't feature it. And nope, there's no Hearthstone sale. So maybe this is like
every time I get one of the like Black Friday sales and it says like on blah, blah, blah and Hearthstone, it's like, and I just close it because for a while I was looking at those, but now I might start again now that you mentioned that, because like if there is actually like a deal, then that would actually be noteworthy. And this could be that infrastructure building. I like that theory a lot, Hydra.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got so excited. I had to talk about it too. Oh my gosh, I really love it.
It could be cool. It could. Please do it. Thanks, Blizzard. Next up, get a gloss over this one. We got our Dark Moon Fair treasures. It's a thing. There's a really cool new Deathwing hero. Roll the dice for your free one. If you get it, you get it. You probably won't. Enough said, I guess. If you feel like spending, what is it, $158? Yeah, sure, go for it. But I don't
know if they've announced the pricing on this one yet.
Well, in general, that's what it's cost in the past. We'll see how it goes for the future of these Dark Moon treasures to get these. But it looks super cool. We saw it like in action here. If you want to look at, if you're watching live on the screen now, the attack is so cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, it's awesome. Like, it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. And then what else do we have?
It looks
left?
like is that Ragnaros in the picture too?
Oh, let's go back to it.
Oh, I think maybe it's Colossals. I don't think it breaks it down. What all's part of the bundle or bundle? Part of the gotcha.
Forget a look. Yeah, there's a bunch of signature cards. It does look like there's a signature rag in there. We don't have a full breakdown as far as I know, but there's a lot that you can get. I don't believe that there is a breakdown right now, but it looks really cool. Like, there's a lot in there.
Yeah.
If you're into the shinies.
I will say, however much I like the shinies, man, I really wish that they didn't put it behind the gotcha. But man, the shinies look so cool though, but gotta lament that part.
Yep. Yeah, unfortunately, it is what it is. And then there's some bug fixes at the end. I don't know if there's anything super important in the bug fixes before we hop into the new rewards track.
Nothing that
I don't see.
Oh, I ran into this a time or two because Mech Paladin has been coming back. Fixed an issue where the Divine Shield visual effect could persist after Spark bots were fused with a bot that had a damaged shield. So it was just a visual effect. It didn't actually still have that thing, but I'm glad that they fixed it.
Nice. I mean, that's pretty good. Mech Paladin. That brings back memories, Sheep.
Doesn't it though? And how?
And how? All right. So Cataclysm rewards track refresh. So this is happening real soon. Don't everyone forget that if you, depends on what you're doing. Some people say it doesn't matter, but if you want to maximize your expansion XP before this comes out, save your weekly quests before the expansion comes out on this upcoming Tuesday. Have all 3 weeklies And like the night before, have 2 dailies. So your 3rd daily pops in. And then come Tuesday, you can just blast them away and like rock it up to like, what is it? Like level 20 on the rewards track in day 1. Like
Without breaking a sweat even. Yeah.
without even breaking a sweat, like easily, and just get all that stuff.
Because I'll get there regardless as long as I don't have a sinus infection, right? Like, but if I implement this trick, I could be like 40, 50 by the end of the the first day.
Yeah. So, and you know what? The gold you get right now isn't a bad thing if you've crossed the 100 mark on the current rewards track. Getting that 50 gold per level is still good. It's 50 gold, right? Like every time. Like that's still good. So it depends on, I've seen arguments both ways as to like what's more important. But if you like the feels good, you know, like get that thing right away, instant gratification. They preload the track on purpose, right? Like I understand. Like it's at the beginning, it gets you excited. That sort of stuff. You're unlocking all these things. I recommend doing that. Save your quests for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I recommend doing it as well. Purely from a like if your engagement with Hearthstone kind of ebbs and flows, which is normal, like to play a game sometimes more and sometimes less, right? You're going to be playing more at the very beginning and right before an expansion cycle, right?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get that extra bit now so that you can get to the end of the expansion cycle or of the battle pass for this expansion cycle quicker so that you can get those 50 gold chunks a lot more. That said, if you're like trying to play the game and coming across like, oh, I have these quests, like don't get frustrated by it. Like if it's one of those strategies where it's like, oh, for example, Hydra, I have a spectate a friend and a challenge a friend quest.
Ooh, do you right now?
Right now, but I'm holding on to them. I'm holding on to them for expansion release. So that's an easy one to kind of like hold back on, right?
I'll see you on the 17th because I also have a challenge a friend quest.
Excellent. And so we can help each other out with that, right? But those are ones that are much easier to hold back on, right? Like the Nozdormu Day is an easy one to hold back on. But like playing battle cry cards, playing death rattle cards, things
almost
like that are
to hold back on.
It's so hard to just not play cards unless you're just not playing. So if you're trying to min-max, like hold on to the big ones if you can. But at the end of the day, if it's more trouble than it's worth, like just play the game. So I personally am a min-maxer and maximizing my play in the game, which is probably why I eventually got both of those and have just been hoarding them. The challenge and spectate a friend.
Yep. Me too. I don't have both right now. I think I completed my last
I lucked out getting the
accident.
second one. Oh no.
Yeah.
You spectated the wrong person. Because you have to watch them win.
Yeah.
For the uninitiated. I know you know.
Yeah. Oopsies. Sometimes you just want to watch a friend play and then they won. It's like, dang it, you ruined my quest. All right, so the Cataclysm rewards track. So we'll just talk about the free rewards track. So you get 14 golden cards off of it. And the again cursed King legendary card. And other goodies are the legendary Colossal Minion from Cataclysm, random legendary card, a random epic card, tavern tickets, and a bounty of gold and packs. So as standard, you get all that stuff, right? Then there's the Tavern Pass. I will get into everything. There's so much you can get from getting the Tavern Pass. Y'all know you just get the extra stuff, right? More cosmetics. It's not... Yes, Sheep?
I've mentioned my free-to-play account a number of times. This is the one thing that I have, I also seeded it with a couple of packs, because they give you like the bundles of the ketchup packs whenever you come back. So I did buy a couple of those too, because they were cheap and you got a lot. But the other thing that I spend money on in my quote unquote free to play account is just the Tavern Pass, because honestly, of the experience boosts. The experience boost is like essentially converting that much into gold. And as long as you play, you get ahead. So there's that. And then also you get a lot of actual like cosmetics. So it's kind of seeding the cosmetics of my quote unquote free to play account. This is the one thing that I spend money on that. So just FYI, if you're more budget minded, the Tavern Pass is something that pays off a lot. And no, I'm Edge 0x. I'm not a true F2P player, and on my main account I have a lot of very big shinies. So that's just my that's just my like, dude, I'm not buying packs with money is the real the real thing.
Also, I famously spent like a bunch of money on Asia on my free-to-play account. Not on purpose, but I think I did it twice.
Buying one or
servers.
But the second time, did you only buy one of the pre-orders? Because I know the first time you bought both. And I was so sad for you. But I think the second time you caught it.
There was multiple. I've made multiple mistakes over the years. Like, so one was not checking which server I was on. Bad idea. The other one was back in the day. This is like before they changed the ladder system and stuff. They used to, even when a new expansion came out, they still featured the old expansion above the new expansion in the pack store. So when you went to the pack store, let's say Cataclysm came out, guess what? It wasn't the one at the top. It was the previous expansion automatically selected. So I'm like, 50 packs, boom, right? And I did that like on my, my regular account, like NA. And I was like, I'm buying all these packs, not realizing that they're not featuring the new one, because they didn't used to feature the new one. I don't know why they wouldn't do that. I don't know if they're trying to, and I would submit tickets to Blizzard, be like, hey, like, you guys need to not put this one at the top. You got to like move it. But they never fixed it for me. This is before I was in the creator program. I wonder if you have like more leverage. Like at this point in time, I'd be like, hey,
I mean, I wouldn't say more leverage, but I would say like you get people's ear a lot quicker. And it's probably not necessarily the people who can like make those changes, but like they gotta listen to you.
Yeah. Right. I have a voice. I didn't have a voice back then. When I first made that mistake, this is pre-podcast. This is like 2016, 2017. When I made that mistake, because that's the way it was. But the
you were not
server,
the only one.
The wrong server. That is definitely in the last 6 years that we've been doing this podcast. The wrong server I've done multiple times since we've done this podcast. And I only have myself to blame for not checking which server I was logged into.
I mean, it happens, but oh my gosh, that was a costly mistake.
It really was. It really, really was. What else do we have here? We got signature card achievements. If you want to check out the signature cards, that's kind of cool, I guess. We got one for Sheltered Survivor and Felon Fusion. They look pretty cool. that you can get. And then there's the cosmetic coins. They also look pretty sick. And that's basically it that we have for the news, unless you want to touch on anything else before we get into our discussion topic. Mr. Sheep.
I think that's honestly, I love whenever we get like signatures behind achievements, because I think that that's a really cool way to grow a collection without having to just like roll the dice and get lucky of signatures. The coins, I think that I will probably like the Cataclysm coin better after we talk to Goliath and get our lore dump. Because right now I'm looking at it, I'm like, I mean, it looks all right. Like I can kind of see what it's going for, but like I don't know the story behind Cataclysm yet. And it looks like that's a very story-based card. And, you know, less of a like, you know, that it visually looks kind of neat, but like if there's the story element to it that ties in with that, I feel like that'll be the one the part that it's like actually makes it like really, really cool, and versus just like, oh, that's kind of neat.
Sounds like we're going to have Goliath the Dwarf on soon. Both these coins do look pretty sweet. All right. So for our discussion topic. So unfortunately, Shmoopy Daddy was sick tonight, but he pointed us in a funny direction. And that funny direction is Reddit. You know, Reddit's a funny place, right? So we are getting, and we mentioned this earlier in the news, free cards to play with if you don't have them, right? Mm-hmm. So these are from the last 2 expansions. If you don't have the cards, they're going to be loaners, and you can play them throughout the duration of Cataclysm. And someone, unnamed, posted on Reddit the following. It is entitled Temporary Cards.
Oh! Can you do Shmoopy Daddy's Reddit voice for this, please? Because that would be hilarious.
I don't think I can emulate. What is it like?
I know I can't. Yeah, you nailed it. What are you talking about?
How do I permanently remove temporary cards from my account? And why is it even a thing? They should give Essence worth of all of those temporary cards instead. So that's the post, okay? And then the response to the first response to the post is someone says, are you on meth? Is the first response. So basically, this person, OP is mad. OP is mad. All right. That they're getting free cards to play with. And so someone says, are you on meth? And the answer is, no, I'm not on meth. I hate drug addicts. You're stupid for thinking that. Temporary cards aren't mine. So why TF would I use them? I don't want to shame myself by using borrowed cards that aren't even mine. Because I'm not a noob. I have my own cards. Yes, it makes a person a cheater / noob for using borrowed cards. Who can't beat opponents with their own cards? It's laughable. And yes, I said laughable because they spelt it laughable.
Oh.
You know, do you want to comment on this person? Go ahead.
I think that this person might be on meth, and they're compensating by being violently against.
So hold on. So after saying this, what do we have here? Someone says that this is the dumbest thing anyone could complain about. I can get behind that. Someone says this is the dumbest thing you can complain about, getting free cards. And the response by OP is, dumbest? If you think it's funny to have borrowed cards on your account, then you have a skill issue and a problem. Maybe use your own cards, not borrowed cards like a noob. My complaint isn't dumb, and it is very reasonable. Yeah, I can avoid using them, but they're in my card collection list that I can't even turn them off from my card collection list to only see my cards. I don't understand how this is so much an issue for this person. They're very upset, and they're accusing people.
Right.
And so finally, their final retort before we fully get into it is, what is wrong with you? Not everyone likes using borrowed cards. Using borrowed cards equals to cheating/skill issue. Who can't use your own cards to beat opponents? I'm gonna complain in the survey till they give me option to refuse/turn off temporary cards so that I will never see them again ever in my account. They defo need to see this. If they did the right thing. And if I sound like I mispronounced something, it's because they mistyped it.
Can confirm.
Yeah, so if this is not just bait, which it could be, do you think there's actually people that are upset that people are getting free cards to play with?
So whenever I saw it hit like my collection on mobile, I was like, oh, that looks a little funny. Because, you know, I on NA, I have all the cards. And so like, there's just like this little thing below it that does that. I was like, oh, right. Because that doesn't affect me in NA, right? And it does look a little weird. It doesn't look great. But that's because everyone's getting the cards, and I can deal with it being like slightly weird for a way to show like how many cards I have. Because whenever nerfs hit, like I went into my collection and I was
makes
getting
it
dust.
confusing.
Yeah. So I can see being not liking how it looks or whatnot, but like they gave everyone access to the cards for an expansion cycle for free. That's great. Like what's the issue?
I think it's funny that this person, like, so if you go back and read this, they're complaining out of almost like a pay to win mindset.
Yeah, very much so.
Right? Like, maybe use your own cards is one of the statements they said. Like, what do you mean, maybe use your own cards? And it's saying like you basically cheated or you have a skill issue because you had to borrow cards. So like, let's say you and I are kids, right? And you lend me your Magic deck and I go to Friday Night Magic and I win with your deck. I still have to learn how to use it. I still have to learn how to use it. Like, what do you mean? You can't just hand me a deck and like I just win with it. I don't know what I'm doing, right? Like, who cares? Who cares if someone lent you the deck? It's not a big deal, and it's not like like I took my deck from my buddy who's actually won the championship or something. Like, the company gave me the deck. The company gave everyone the deck. Like, Wizards of the Coast gave everyone a deck that they can go play with. It's really not like you took a top tier deck from like the world champion and then you went and played it against someone. They literally gave every single person the same opportunity.
Pre-con. Yeah.
We are all on equal playing ground across the board.
Well, and honestly, to build upon that, this is just giving access to cards. It's not telling you like, hey, here's your deck, right? This,
Yes,
you still
that's a
have
better
to
point. Yeah.
have to deck build. You still have to like, you may be net decking, but you have to know where to net deck. And then to your point, you have to actually be good enough at the deck to like actually do well. And the fact that they're reducing the barrier to entry to playing with some of the cards that they're not as concerned about selling currently, that is my view, right? Like they haven't told me that, but that's what it looks like, right? Like those other card packs aren't really selling so much. So like, here's a way to reduce the barrier to entry, make it easier for people to play at the beginning of an expansion cycle. That means that we all, no matter how much or little we spend on the game, have opponents to play against. That's a good thing. That's great. I love that.
Yeah, and honestly,
and if you're playing against them, that means that you got match made into them. And that means that you get to, that means that they're of the same skill that you are, regardless of whether they paid for it, whether
they're
they
automatically
whether they
good. They're
built their
automatically
collection
good.
up.
No,
like
no, they're just automatically good because they have the cards.
that is not how that works. That is not how that works at all.
Well, according to blankety blank on Reddit, that's how this works.
I have and can and have go into a server or account with zero collection, decide that I'm going to build a particular deck, only have that deck, and go and be in high legend. Not anyone can do that if they don't have the meta knowledge, if they don't have the reps on whatever deck it is, like, but anyone can learn those things. Anyone can acquire those skills. So taking out the like barrier to entry makes it so much better. And then also from a capitalistic perspective, that means that then they're selling the new cards, which like you've got people like, oh, I'm kind of interested in Hearthstone. Oh, I want to build this deck. Oh, what all cards do I need? Oh, I need to buy all sorts of different packs, and it's kind of confusing and all of this versus like the thing that's in your face that they're actively trying to sell you. You need that and maybe a few cards from the one set that from last standard cycle that they didn't give us. Like, but they reduce that barrier to entry so much.
That's what I mean, right? Because most decks are already built for you. Like based on previous expansions. New expansion comes out. Sometimes you just got to add a couple cards, right? So they give you the last two expansions, and then new expansion comes out, and you're just missing a few. Capitalistic approach, like you said, it's going to encourage you to open packs from the new expansion to be able to play that deck. So it works both ways. It's accessibility for the player. It makes money for the company. Regardless of them loaning you the cards for free, they're still making money, and you get to play something that you never would have got to play anyways, right? Like if you don't have like a full collection, if you don't keep up with it, you can do that now. Like towards the end of a cycle or a new cycle, you get all this stuff. So like going into the new year, you have three full, well, you get 2 full expansions, and you're working towards the next one, right? Like that is super cool. Like that is really, really cool to be able to have. And yeah, I get that maybe at the end you're kind of confused. If you're someone who doesn't pay attention to podcasts and the news and stuff, and you think you own these cards, and they disappear, that could be a bit of a bummer, right? Like, oh, I thought I owned all these things. Like, that could happen. Like, it literally
True.
could.
Very true.
Yeah. When Wild first became a thing, I didn't understand where my cards went. I was confused. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, I was. I was like, where'd they go? Like what happened? Like, I had to figure it out. I'm like, where'd Shielded Minibot go? Like, I don't know what happened.
But I didn't disenchant it. Where'd it go?
I don't understand. So I can see, literally, I can actually see people being confused by this. That is one thing. Like, if you're not on the up and up on everything, you could be kind of confused. You had this deck, maybe you crafted other things to like fit your deck, and then when it goes away, once your loaners are gone, yeah, it could be kind of confusing. That's like the one negative I guess I could see.
Absolutely agreed. But again, from that like business, like capitalistic perspective, at that point you're bought in, like if you're still playing then, right? So you probably have or know at that point how to get the dust to craft what will be going away. I think what's so good about this one is reducing the barrier to entry so that then you can learn about that and you can learn how the dust system works before then you have to actually use it like much more extensively.
Yeah.
But that's a very good point though. Yeah.
In the end, I think it's pretty cool. And like, as a human, my first thought, I will admit this, I'm gonna be open with you, Sheep.
Okay.
My first thought when they said that everyone gets these cards, I didn't know that it was like a temporary thing. And I was like, I paid for these cards. Gosh, darn it. And they're going to give them all away for free. And then I was like, you know what? Calm down, Hydra. It's fine. They're getting people into the game. It's not a big deal, even though you spent your hard-earned dollars on this game. And then I read they were temporary. And I was like, okay, that's better. But I think like at first point, I was like, are you going to tell me that I pre-purchased like expansion over expansion and they're just going to give them away? There was a point in me that I was like, if I were poor, I mean, if you're poor and you're buying Hearthstone cards, don't do that. But if I were poor and that's what I was doing, I'd be very upset right now. Right? Like you're like putting your hard-earned dollars into this game and then they gave them all away for free. Like that was like my first instinct. But then I'm like, you know what? No. Accessibility is good. Promoting the game is good. Getting more people into the game is good. It's all a good thing. We're trying to like build the game. The game's been around. Beta was 2013. Launch 2014, right? Like it's been a minute. Game's been around for a while. Yeah, let's get people into it. It's fine.
The 10-year celebration expansion, Whizbang's Workshop, is rotating into Wild.
Yeah, right. Like
right.
That in itself is wild. So anyway, I think it's great. I think letting people play with cards, like, why not? Whatever. Let people play with cards. It's pretty cool. And you know what? I have friends that I used to work with in my previous job that I'm now going to tell about this so they can hop in and play this next coming cycle, because they'll just have these sets.
They'll have half of what's in standard.
And
literally.
It's not a commit. And
2 of the 4 expansions.
And it's also not a commitment because they're just there, right? Like you're investing into your future. Like they're just there. You can play for now. You can drop it if you want. I think that's pretty sweet.
Free content idea for anyone who wants to like write or come up with like YouTube videos or do the research for this, but like find some free to play decks and for each class.
Ooh.
Like that's just the 2 expansions and core set of what is for each class. So it's like, oh, here's a free whatever totem shaman. I have no clue. But like, you know, that's a free content idea because like, boom, free cards, free decks. Here's the decks that you can make. Go have fun. I think that there's a definite niche for that.
Unrelated Advice with Electric Sheep City.
That's me.
All right, Sheep. So I explained to you earlier about how I've recently decided to start welding things in my little shed workshop that I've set up for myself. And I also explained that I've accidentally set some stuff on fire. Not realizing how easy it is to set things on fire when you're welding. You would think as a machinist, I would have realized how simple it was to set things on fire as a welder. But hey, I'm not a welder, so I'm just learning. I've purchased a fire extinguisher. However, I want you to give me some safety tips on all other prevention, on how not to hurt myself or burn the house down, or whatever I can do to be safe as a welder going forward.
Okay, so for one, you gotta have the Iron Man like helmet, like the Mark I Iron Man helmet. Like you gotta protect your face and you gotta protect your eyes, because those things, as you know, have like not just like sunglasses, but like it's like dark because you're actively looking at like a fire and things melting and stuff like that. You gotta wear you some flame fire resistant or retardant gloves, whatever. I know that they mean different things whenever it comes to like fire. I just never remembered which one is which. Like I know that they both repel, but I don't know in what manner.
Fair enough.
Applies to that, but you gotta get yourself some gloves. You gotta keep your hands safe. Your hands are right up there, right next to the fire. Gotta keep them safe, my dude. That's way too hot. And then you gotta get you I'm gonna say like a Slipknot suit, essentially, like one of those jumpsuits.
Yeah.
Really, like what I've typically seen
like
people do is like an
coverall.
apron or something, but like I want you to get a Slipknot like jumpsuit coverall. Like, yeah, that's also repels flames and fire and heat, because all of those things are things that can catch fire. I imagine that you know a little bit more about what kind of ventilation is needed and maybe not needed. I was kind of surprised when you were like, oh yeah, I go into the shed. I was thinking like, oh, is that ventilated? I imagine you leave the door open, but I don't know. Does it need to be ventilated? I assume so. So like, again, you know more about that than I do, but like, I doubt that you're like, you know, putting yourself in an enclosed like place and then like putting all this fire and heat and gas out to like breathe it in. Speaking of breathing, I imagine that there's some sort of like PPE associated with that. But I don't know. Does the mask do that? Like the Iron Man mask that I mentioned? Maybe. Who knows? No one knows. Science doesn't exist. None of this can happen. No one knows anything. Everyone's just guessing, and we're all just doing our best, man. And nothing is real.
Wiser words have never been spoken, and you heard that on
Born to be wild.
Amazing. I love your rant. It's awesome.
Like, yeah, I had to turn it randomly existential for no goddamn reason whatsoever at the end.
So, the funny thing is, so in my shed, I have a window that's not very big. It's maybe like 18 inches in length.
Okay.
And so once you open it, it's got a slider that's only like 9 inches wide, right? And so recently, I replaced, like your fan in your bathroom, your exhaust fan. I replaced the one in my washroom because the one we had was like loud and rattly. So I bought a new one, and I took the old one and I jammed it in the window in the shed. Like, I actually built a frame for it and I stuck it in there. So when I'm welding, I got an exhaust fan out the side of the shed that pulls all the smoke out.
That's really, really cool.